Hey everybody, Dave here. This is a single video in my 15-part series for Let's Build in Blue Prism using Notepad++. I'm assuming that if this isn't part one, then you have seen the video prior to this. Let's get started. Okay, now from the process, we're going to call on that stuff. We're going to do these other things. Should we do that stuff first? Probably. So we're going to do these other things. And before we close Notepad, we're just going to set the general settings. Where are we? We got to navigate, right? Navigate to preferences. Navigate to preferences, and then afterward we'll navigate from preferences. Then in the middle we're going to set general settings. Look at that. Ugh. We're gonna just should we hard code this for now? I think we might want to hard code it for now, because it's just going to be like true, 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 false for most of this. English. And all right. Set general settings. Here's our intended settings. So we will put true in all the ones that make sense for that. So that was not going to be true. So small icons, big icons, standard icons is true, show status bar is true, reduce true, and then the rest of them are false. Exit on close the last tab, hide menu bar, hide toolbar, small icons, big icons. Okay, that wasn't so bad. So what we're going to do now is see if this will work. Let's go into preferences. It probably should set these before doing all this other stuff. Yeah, so before it does these things. So move this stuff down. Move it down, get window list, navigate to window list, slide these right here. Any errors? Nope. So I'm messing up some of these, and I'm gonna not show the status bar. I got a lot that we can see that's different. Here we go. Oh, we gotta close this. Launch. Navigate to preferences. Okay, let's go see if it worked. We're going to compare this screenshot to this settings. This stuff's right. Before we move on to the next part of the settings, I realized that we do have a problem that we didn't notice, and that is when we go into settings, Up here it says, Notepad++ apparently remembers where you were in the preferences the last time you were in there. So if I click close, settings, preferences, it remembers that I was in the file associations tab. So it works just fine if we're always clicking on general, but if we ever have to click a new place, that doesn't work so well, because now whenever we click on, even navigate to preferences, it's just going to go into preferences. And then when we have it write the values in the general tab to set the general settings, it just checks to see that we're in preferences. It doesn't even check to see that we are on the general page for like localization or anything. And beyond that, it definitely doesn't navigate to general. So I think from now on, what I'm going to change it to is, once we verify we're in the preferences window is open, we'll then go ahead and click on general, regardless of whether we're there already or not. And we will we'll wait for the localization to pop up, and then when we navigate to new document, we'll wait for like new document to show up. So let's do that. So we have the preferences window exists when we are setting the general settings, but before we do that, let's immediately navigate by clicking. I think we're gonna have to add something to application modeler. So over here in our complicated application modeler, preferences, we've got general, new document. We need those two sections. So where are we? We're in preferences, window preferences. Here we are. Identify. We're just going to identify this in Win32 mode. It's a list box, but we need to be able to select items in the list box. And I don't see anything in here that tells us well, it might still work. Let's see. If I were to go to set general settings, and if I were to choose that select item text, and I said new document, let's just verify that this works. Okay, cool. Perfect. So I can just use that same element and then pass in a different value for whatever I need. So we'll call this list box preferences preferences tabs, I guess we'll call it. And then let's change that. It's the only list box there, so maybe let's go see if it is the only list box. I don't believe it is, actually. Look at that. Oh no. Here we go. Highlight. Ah! Okay, well that's fine. We can always expect that it is the first list box in any of the preferences tabs. So let's go to match index. Here, highlight. Okay, that should be fine. Tabs. All right, so navigate. Let's select general. Like this. And after we select general, I think it'd be a good idea to wait for the screen to update before we try to write the values. So preferences, let's see, general tab exists, and then let's look for localization. Check exists true, 5 seconds. Window error, general tab. Okay, localization label could not be found, possibly indicating general tab did not load. And then we wait for that, then we write all the values, and then we can navigate away from it. So let's test to make sure that works. That happened way too fast for me to see it. Okay, well, we can test it in a minute. I do want to just make sure each time that I'm testing something. So in here, I'm going to disable the status bar and make sure that that works. I'm also a little concerned about exit on close the last tab. And so we'll look for this to be false and this one to be true. And I'm going to click to another tab here. Okay. Now if I open Notepad++, is it going to go to that tab again? Let's test it. Okay, it looks like it starts over at general anyways. So what we're going to do is not run through it. I'm just going to step until it opens. Okay. And then before I have it go any further, I'm going to go in and change it to do something else first. Goodness gracious, that's fast. Okay. Let's go open Notepad++ again and verify our settings. Okay, so this one is false and this one is true. And looks like it worked. Cool. All right, thanks for watching this part of this 15-part series in Let's Build in Blue Prism, where we work with Notepad++. I'll see you next time.